I want to go back to something that I find most women are just now rediscovering, that gut intuition and instinct. And so, for someone who literally uses their gut to make decisions and it has yet to lead you far astray from what you're trying to accomplish, what advice could you give to somebody who has maybe lost touch with like what that gut feeling is, and how can they start rekindling that identification and connection of the gut feeling?
That's such a good question, Chrissy. And it immediately sends me to also thinking about how do you turn it off when you get home? So, not turning off your gut, but how do you disconnect your body, your mind, your soul, your heart from your business when you go home every day? Because to me, it's a lot of the same thing. One of the mantras that I try to live by is for me, I've heard it said in a couple of different ways, but the mantra that I like to use is to be where my feet are. And it's mindfulness, right? And so it's really thinking about, where am I? What's the challenge that I'm facing? What are the resources that I have to address the challenge? And a challenge can be a good thing too, right? It's not always a bad thing, but sometimes we get an opportunity, which it can be difficult to differentiate an opportunity from a challenge. So mindfulness helps. It definitely helps to be surrounded by people like I am, fortunately, who love and support you and believe in you. Some of them are staff, some of them are friends, some of them are family. And I also think that leading with gratitude is a huge way to keep your gut open. So I could spend the next hour telling you about well, Chrissy already knows them all, but all of our failures, all of our challenges, everything we lost. Gosh, I got an email on Friday night that was like, sorry, you weren't picked for this RFP. And I was like, wait, I thought we already got rejected. And then I realized I was getting rejected by a different customer. It's fine. Like we lose all the time. But if we focus on what we have to be grateful for, I think it just opens your intuition and your heart to, what the best decision is that you can make with your head.
I want to take what you just said and start demystifying some stuff because I think from everything that we hear, first time business owners go into business and try to make perfection out of every decision that they make. And so they're planning and building stuff that is not necessary for them to build, spending their times where they shouldn't be spending their times because they're afraid of failure. And you just said you failed and had many challenges along the way. So I want to dive into that a little bit further to basically reassure people who are thinking about going into business and saying it's not always pink. It's not always rainbows and butterflies. Sometimes it gets pretty tough. And how do you weather that along?